What's up, everybody? This is Ripples in Wales back for another video. I hope you're all doing well and having a great day wherever you are in the world and whatever you're doing. That was my 7 a.m. alarm, but I've been up since 5, so that doesn't matter. How are you all doing today? Well, it's Sunday. Most of you have a day off today. I don't. I'm off to work on the water, but I'm looking forward to it. Love this autumnal weather. Everything's changing on the island in a way wherever you guys are, but the autumn seasons in Wales are rather beautiful. All the leaves are falling off the trees in golden colours, and the weather's really peculiar on an island in autumn here. Especially if you're out on the water a lot, you get a lot of northerly and easterly squalls coming through. So you're in waterproofs and stuff most of the day, but super cool because I like that change in the weather. Anyway, speaking of change, let's go through what changes are in the crypto space over the past couple of days. This is going to be a news-related video, and at the end we'll just touch upon a couple of interesting things to do with the colours between BG123 and the Ripple Riddler. But if you wait to the end, we'll go over that. Anyhow, this is my Twitter page at Ripples in Wales. Come and say hi, and let's dive right in. So, one of the first things I want to cover was this tweet by Steven Nereoff, and this guy is a big hitter in the space. He's no messing around with this chap. He is the real deal. He was involved in the setting up of Consensus and the Ethereum foundations, as well as the ICO token that is ETH. And he tweeted out here something really quite special in my opinion. And I believe XRP has no ceiling if they achieve their objectives. It's not a simple response, but I'll give a high-level take. Usually, a lower XRP price would make their offering more attractive. However, Ripple is clearly the odds-on favourite to win in a network effects model. That's really interesting, first of all, just like network effects model. Once this is achieved, XRP must be used, and at that point, I don't see a ceiling on the price. So what is he referring to a network effects model? Well, he's referring to all the institutional partnerships that they've forged. This is why Ripple has taken its sweet time with the development of its Web3 side of things, as in the Internet of Value and the tokenization, because they took their time to build a hell of a network effect with banks, central banks, and world governments first. Once you understand this, and you understand the build-outs, and the foundation they put into bringing institutional players on the banking level forward, as Brad said many times, then you understand that they separated their kind of focus into two parts. One, banking, government, and institution infrastructure, which is what they built out, and that's what Steven's referring to by his network effects. And the secondary part they're moving towards is like where Solana, Ethereum, and all those other tokens are, which is the tokenization, Internet of Value, metaverse, and so on. So they already have the network effect model built in the financial money side of the sector. Now they're going to go to onboarding and the tokenization Web3 side of things. He carries on, look at the US dollar, which has a network effect, and it is a standard that must be used in countless instances. There is clearly no ceiling on the price of the dollar as it gets massively depreciated, but price becomes irrelevant, overshadowed by its required necessity. It's really important. That's like he's talking about reserve status here, okay, and how people need it, okay? And when something is in need, it has a prescribed desirability. Come to think of it, could XRP take the reserve currency role in part or whole? It's an interesting concept. Wonder if that had anything to do with Ripple being viciously and fairly targeted, probably just a conspiracy theory, that so many powerful entities would go to such lengths to unjustly do everything that they can to slow Brad Garlinghouse and a company down as they... Hold on a minute, I think I've got an alarm going off on my phone now. There we go, beg your pardon. Probably just a conspiracy that so many powerful entities could do with such lengths to unjustly do everything they can to slow Brad Garlinghouse and company down, as they knew they would get caught with their favoured alternatives. Note that I don't own any XRP or Ether right now, so nobody can say I'm doing this for any other ulterior motives than the justice and radical change to a more fair and transparent system. Now, Steven is about to, at some point in the future, kick off his own lawsuits against the Ethereum Foundation owners, I believe. And he is a real truth seeker. He's a lionheart and a truth seeker. So keep an eye on this chap. That was unbelievable. There is no ceiling. And he's referring to the Internet of Value and the tokenization here, plus the network effects that built in the bank sector. That's huge. Remember those words. Don't overlook what he said here. It's so big, and to have these mainstream people going on about this is pretty impressive. Okay, next there's a clip here with our dear friend.
The other protocols, and we're going to wait to see how we.
Hold on. This is by John Deaton, and it's played by, it's tweeted by Mr. Huber. It's a crazy conspiracy to claim Ethereum got something like a free pass, right? Let's have a listen.
I think Gary's going to be fair. He's very smart. Bitcoin is going to get a free pass, so that's great. I think Ethereum gets a free pass. That's great.
Right. That's all we need to hear. Novo, in the know, back in the day. Yeah? The old boys club. They knew. And it goes back to what Bearable Guy says. 1 and 2 are given, 3 is a test. Okay, 1 and 2 are given. I've told you many times, a free pass, that's what he's referring to. 3 is a test. They've had to go through the whole bloody charade, through a lawsuit for it. Fantastic. It's all out there in the wild, and the truth will be revealed. Make no mistake, during this next evolution of this planet we go through this conscious 5D change in consciousness that we're all going to evolve through, the truth will rise to the surface in every field of your lives. Karmatic responses are increasing and becoming way quicker, and this is how the swamp gets cleaned. Nothing can be hidden. Anyhow, let's move on. This is a really interesting article posted by Crypto News Alerts, and I posted this saying excellent points. This also goes for XRP too. Now this is in response to the idea that Bitcoin is a fantastic hedge in terms of an asset. Okay, drop maximalism stuff now. This is an amazing thing, okay, because you can use it as an asset that doesn't have any maintenance costs and the like. Listen.
If we look at Bitcoin and model it as digital gold, the market cap goes to between 10 and 20 trillion. But gold is defective property. Gold is dead money. You have $1 billion of gold that sits in a vault for a decade. It's very hard to mortgage the gold. It's also very hard to rent the gold. You can't loan the gold. No one's going to create a business with your gold. So gold, it doesn't generate much of a yield. So for that reason, most people wouldn't store $1 billion for a decade in gold. They would buy $1 billion of commercial real estate property. And the reason why is because I can rent it and generate a yield on it that's in excess of the maintenance cost. So if you consider digital property, that's $100 to $200 trillion addressable market. So I would think it goes from 10 trillion to 100 trillion as people start to think of it as digital property.
What does that mean in terms of price per coin?
At 500,000, right? That's a $10 trillion asset. At 5 million, that's a $100 trillion asset.
So if it crosses $1 million, it can go even higher.
Yeah, I think it keeps going up forever. I mean, there's a reason it can go to 10 million a coin, right? Because digital property isn't the highest form, right? Gold was that low frequency money. Property is a mid frequency money, but when I start to program it faster, it starts to look like digital energy, and then it doesn't just replace property. Then you're starting to replace bonds. It's 100 trillion in bonds. There's 50 to 100 trillion in other currency derivatives, and these are all conventional use cases, right? I think that there's 350 trillion to 500 trillion dollars worth of currency derivatives in the world. Mm-hmm. And when I say that, I mean things that are valued based upon fiat cash flows. Any commercial real estate, any bond, any sovereign debt, any currency itself, any derivatives to those things, they're all derivatives, and they're all defective. And they're all defective because of this persistent 7 to 14% lapse, which we call inflation.
Right, just take a moment to suck that in. Don't ever throw a sailor out of the knowledge curve. He is an insanely genius human. Okay, and I've listened to probably over 150, maybe 200 hours of his work, and a lot of his stuff is genius. What it was kind of for me is to cement the understanding about what he sees Bitcoin in the future, not now, in the future, okay, and how it will, you know, draw up the value of all these other defective assets on the planet. Now, if you can see further down the line, you can see that we know that there's going to be a few assets in this space. Bitcoin will do its thing, okay, and it will draw in that new money, whether it's to replace gold and draw up the monetary energy that would represent all these other assets, as in, you know, real estate. Think about the maintenance costs on real estate versus the maintenance costs of a yield you'd get on a digital asset in a custody solution. If you're getting 5% yield on your crypto investments and all you need to do is park them and click a button, they are way more efficient and effective than any other property, commercial property. You might even get 7% for your digital assets. But the point is, you don't have any depreciation costs, any maintenance costs. I urge you all to listen to a lot of Michael Saylor's works, because if you understand what XRP wants to become, it wants to become in a kind of a similar form as elusive as this kind of investable asset on an institutional level. And that means a better form of sound money to hold its value over the arc of time. Really, really powerful stuff, this. You know, and obviously then with XRP, you've got this added bonus of insane utility of in the future, in these next 10 years, of how it will be used in this whole new internet. It's not just going to be, you know, a legacy token. It's going to be very much in the forefront of it. Anyhow, I digress. Let's move on. So anyway, I'm not going to play this clip because we're going to be short of time on this. But this is the CEO of Polysign, Standard Custody, having an interview with Tony Edwards of Thinking Crypto. Great channel. I urge you to go and have a look at it. It was interesting to hear. They're now preparing custody solutions for the institutions, and they're going live. They're coming out of stealth mode. Watch this space. They're all coming out of their little stealth mode productions to say, hey, listen, we've got brokers, we're willing to take it. This is what this pause has been about. This is what this has been, this gap in time. It's the institutions and the banks have been positioning themselves so they can become custodians and also exchanges. Hence why there's an onslaught in exchanges. Go and have a look at that. I'll repost it later on in my timeline. Another interesting clip that I found about the Twitter logo mirrored with the Masonic symbology. And this is something also popped into my timeline. Chad Steingrubber posted a clip about this Val Hill Capital's, one of the slides off their valuation model, which, you know, I'm neither for or against. I'm neutral in these things. But what I did notice is that they have an Eshny and Mishnik valuation, modelled fair value per XRP. Now, that led me on to an article, the actual article by ETH and Mishnik, which is just here. And this was an evaluation from 2017 and 16, I think it was thereabouts. And back then they proposed a range of parameters built up for fundamentals. This exercise produces an implied expected value range today 2017-18 for Bitcoin at 13.6 to 28, which is interesting where we're at now, and for XRP at 1.59 to 823 on a probability weighted presented value basis. Now, their model is available online if you want to have a look. And that led me to a further thought on things. This is the conclusion. There we go. Same thing. If you want to have a look at the valuation, it's this. Take a screen capture and find it on Medium. That was the conclusion there. Same as what I've just quoted out there. This was backwards. That was then. You know, you've got to add network effects to these valuations. Now, I think that's a fair price, considering we're in the very early days. You know, and I think that it will go reams above that value. But you have to have it plugged in utility first of all. People forget. You know, they say that market cap is irrelevant. Okay, if you want to throw that out, that's okay. But Bitcoin is now being looked at once it's under half a $1 trillion asset class. Once it hits $1 trillion asset class, everyone will pile in. And there is a metric which investors use in terms of market cap size. They realize that once it hits $1 trillion, it's mainstream. So you can't throw the baby out. Anyway, this led me on to another little rabbit hole thread that I went off, and this is Crypto Granny's channel. She was really prevalent back in the day. Loved her work. and she's often shown on Bullzilla's channel, and she did some amazing analysis on the valuation models of XRP, and you can find that through her playlists, I think. If you go to Crypto Granny, this is well worth a watch. We were well into this back in the day, 5 years ago, 4 years ago. It's this one here. Click on the full valuation playlist. Now Susie has probably got 30 years, 3 or 4 decades in this game. She really knows her shit, and she has been in part, or played in every role in part of the financial systems. My God, she is the real deal. And there's a video here that I urge you all to watch. We'll go over it in another video. An XRP valuation of 334.47 USD. So that's per 1 XRP, and that was from 5 years ago. I remember that coming out. There is actually more videos on her channel than that as well. You go and have a dig. There is another one to find. I think it goes back a long while, that though, so I'm not sure I'll be able to find it in a drop, but yeah, you'll have to dig through her channel, go right back to the beginning. There is a couple of valuations, one that comes in a lot higher than that. Anyway, she's been around for a long time, although she's not really busy in the space right now, or well known to maybe the more modern of you that have arrived in the space over the past, beginning parts of this cycle. She was brilliant, Crypto Granny. Anyway, I'll let you have a little dig around. It's probably about 4 years ago. It should have the same thumbnail as the one I showed you there, but there's one that has a considerably higher. There we go. This is the one there. This is the thumbnail that you're looking for. I think that might be the one that you're looking at. Go and have a look for it. Anyway, great resource of information, her channel as well. Okay, moving on. Ripple, they've got their Swell conference in the next, it's almost a week and a half now, 9 days, November the 8th and 9th in Dubai. It'll be very interesting to see what we've got going on there. Keep your eyes on that. Also keep your eye on Ripple XDev. They've done a couple of tweets about the various XRPL wallets. It's worth a learn about the infrastructure in these spaces. You really need to know your stuff. It is a developing technology, and you've got to keep abreast of all the different wallet options that you've got as an XRP holder. It's a good idea to have a look at that. All right, 2 channels to keep your eye on if you're looking at fundamentals. One is Lynn Alden. You might have heard of her. There's a really good meme on her channel here to do fiat currencies. Well worth a watch. Might cover it in another video. And the second one is Raoul Pal. I'm giving you resources. It's important for you all to do your own research in these things, and I dig around. This post by Raoul's really interesting. He goes US banks, which is the BKX index, I think it's called. He goes ruh-roh, which is like, it's breaking the curve. And the lower they go, the higher the probability of more cowbell. And what I only learned this year, more cowbell means stimulus, printing money. And so this is the thing that Raoul has been saying for a while, is that if these things get really shitty in the markets, they're going to print money, especially into an election year, we believe. So that means really, really positive for crypto. Anyhow, last but not least, big shout out to Bullzilla. This channel is phenomenal. I urge you all to go on to have a look at his YouTube channel, Bullzilla. It's at CKJ Crypto News. He is, or has been here since he was the XRP army. There was only about 4 channels back in 2017-18, and he was the main one. And he is the OG of OGs in this space. And not is he only just an XRP knowledge hub in the space. He is a good human. He's very close to the bear, very close, I believe. He has got some inside tracks, that one. We'll leave it at that. But he also is a good human, and he's got an amazing channel. Go and check it out. He used to have this thing called, I think he still does, the Hidden Gems. Man, I think he made more people money than anyone else. All right, that's it for now. Please give the video a like and subscribe. Drop a comment. Tell me if I've missed anything, if you want me to cover something, if there's something that you didn't get. Oh, and I promised one thing before I went, didn't I? I completely forgot. Right, okay. So, I had a question in the comments in the YouTube about the colours. Someone said, listen, I'm really confused. You've got the Ripple Riddler, who's in green, and I'm just going to pull this up here, who's in this, should we change that one to that one? Hold on. The Ripple Riddler, who's wearing green, and a kind of a, mostly green, and like, purple gloves, and a purple shirt. But the Bitcoin, the colours are green and the XRPs are purple. Why is the Ripple Riddler wearing those colours? And I didn't have an answer for it, actually. It was a really, really good question. And other than the Riddler in the Batman movies is traditionally in green. And I think the two Riddlers, if you want to kind of categorize them, Bearable Guy and the Ripple Riddler, they have their own themes for deriving these or creating these cryptographic cartoons for you all, and they've got different syntheses. But there is a crossover here, and it's something I hadn't looked at, in the fact that, you know, we know that on the ship in the next scene in the sailing, there are only 3 colours and 3 flags on the ship, and these 3 colours occur every scene, which is green, purple and yellow. Now in this scene you've also got the same, it's green, purple and yellow. And I wonder whether that, you know, it does make me think, you know, the green suit on the Riddler, why is it green? You know, why did the Riddler use that, and why have they used a green flag? It's the same reason why I constantly ask about the Phoenix. You know, BTC is said to be the Phoenix under here, okay? And in the fire scene we have the Phoenix rising. Now we've got all this ETF talk, and so Bitcoin's likely to go first into, you know, the move. And I wonder whether the Ripple Riddler had, you know, something to say about that. I've not really deciphered it yet, but maybe there's something there, maybe not. But anyway, the colours are always of interest. So it was a really good question to whoever it was. I'm sorry I can't find you in the comments at the minute. But yeah, I mean, the balloon has the XRP logo on, and then the bowler hat has the XRP. But I believe that you know, the BTC was used by the old guards to try and shuffle over their system so that they wouldn't get caught with their tail between their legs, if that makes sense. They needed an asset to move to, all the old institutions. So this is what they've done, is they've hopped their system over, and they've all bought that on the quiet, and now they're pumping it in their own bags. Anyhow, we'll leave it at that. Like, subscribe, drop a comment, come and say hi. I try and reply to every other comment. This is my Twitter at Ripples and Wales. Hope it's gold, bit of a news break for you all. Have a great Sunday, whatever you're doing. See you all in the next video, and be blessed.